Warning! This is Digimon the review for Season 2, plus with a little bit of added stuff about the first episode of Fusion. No, no clips, audio, video images from the show were used in the making of this review/opinion piece. They all belong to Toei Animation, Saban brands, and all their respected owners. Please leave comments at the bottom. Digimon Season 2, aka Zero 2, aka the real season that really ended it all. Because quite frankly, after this season, although each story thereafter is its own separate tale, none of the stories have this much character connection and great writing as Digimon Adventure and Zero 2 did have. And here's the funny thing about it. I am one of the few fans of Zero 2. That's right, I love Zero 2. And it's mainly because I like the older Digidestin. I like the continuity of it all, and it just felt right to me. So, watching it now as a reviewer, what's the problem? Well, I've realized that the season that I love so much is so flawed. As a little kid, I thought it was invincible, that this was Digimon at its all-time best. And quite frankly, now looking forward at it, hello, it's, it's just not. The story picks up 3 years after the end of the original season. All the signature characters have gotten older, a few have moved away, and it looks like the evils of the digital world have gone. Well, in truth, they haven't gone, they just changed. The Digidestin are re-summoned after a human claiming to be the Digimon Emperor starts enslaving Digimons using the evil controlling dark rings at the center point of his empire. Tai, trying to protect his partner Agumon, is mysteriously back in the digital world, and this is not explained. This is not explained because thereafter, soon thereafter, though, a new Digiegg is found, one with the classic crest of courage. Once Tai tries to lift it, 3 new Digi-Rises are zoomed off to 3 new Digidestin, which I will introduce to you now. CodeEquestria is a very inquisitive, very shy, but also very set in his ways and very analytical medical 10-year-old. He lives with his grandfather, seeing that his father, a former policeman, passed away passed away with protecting a foreign diplomat. He practices kendo and believes in the ancient laws of Japanese honor. He is friends with a girl at his apartment, Yoli. Yoli's family runs a 7-Eleven style convenience store, which she buys things from, but she has to keep her own tab. She's got she's got an older brother that she finds somewhat annoying, but her big thing is her personality her personality is that of somewhat embracive, but also very caring and nurturing to those in what she has earned trust for. And then there's Davis Montanilla, the singularly worst character in the history of what I like to consider kidame. That's kids anime. This character is just plain terrible. His voice is annoying. His personality makes you want to shank a bitch. And quite quite frankly, he is brash, outgoing, rush into everything, headlong. Doesn't make him like Ty, it makes him suicidal. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the character that is being entrusted with the continuing legacy of being the leader of the Digidestined. Yes, he says he's good at soccer, and he says he's good with the ladies, which he's neither. He tries to hit on the returning Kari Kamiya, who's now got a semi-hobby in photography the entire season. Kari hasn't changed much from her original character archetype in Adventure. She's just now 5'10" and I dare say she's good looking. And of course, the returning TK. TK hasn't changed much either from the previous season, although he's wearing a Bob Burnquist from Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 hat rather than his traditional green hat. He's now moved into a new apartment, which just so happens to be the one that Cody and Yoli stay at. So they all walk to school together. The three get the new Digivices and off go their adventures in the digital world, with the Digimon Emperor being the first major opponent. Major gimmicks this season, and there are two. The first being Armor Digivolving. Armor Digivolving is kind of a champion level Digivolving hybrid. You using the 8 Digidestined crest, each Digimon can armor Digivolve. Now, 4 are introduced early parts in the first arc, while the remaining crests that are not used right away are introduced later to give the three new Digidestin a second, stronger armor Digivolution. Of course, TK and Kari pretty much reprise their crest and get their Digivices evolved into the new D3s. Digital, detect, and discover their functions, and compared to the normal Digivices, these things are a massive improvement. Also, they have another piece of gear at their disposal, the D terminal. These act as mini email senders, but also have a weird little trick with holding the Digivices in play for the Digidestin to use over the course of the season. It is eventually discovered that our friend the Digimon Emperor is actually a human by the name of Kenichi Joji. Ken is a Digidestin as well, although at first he doesn't buy into the whole gimmick, even after being defeated after trying to control the powers of darkness too much. This guy pretty much acts as the major A+ villain. It's just too bad he's the earliest one. Once once Golden Armor Digivolving is unlocked, Ken is defeated once and for all. You can put Digimon the movie, which I have an earlier review to right between near the fall of Ken and the rise of the second and third villains, Arukenimon and Mummymon. Once again, they're using the evil control spires that Ken originally invented, huge obelisks that help Ken control an entire area with evil energy, except Arukenimon uses the control spires themselves to create evil Digimon. This goes about as well as one might expect, seeing that the Digidestin just learned to Digivolve the champion again and wipe the floor with these frauds. It's quickly followed up. It is quickly followed up with the notion that someone else must be under control, but also that Arukenimon creates a Mega Digimon in the form of Black War Greymon. Black War Greymon is just like regular Greymon, only he pwns all, and is voiced by Steve Bloom. But this guy isn't your normal evil servant either, because he has a mind of his own and practically goes on a spiritual journey to find his meaning in life, something that he doesn't discover until the end of the season, but not before releasing the first of the future Digimon Sovereign Azumonmon from the Destiny Stones. Digimon helps him semi-figure things out, but not to a major success. It's just okay. And here's the major problem with Digimon Season 2. The writing, although good at times, is inconsistent. And the major plot points, especially late with the Digimon World Tour and such, just fall flat. The theme song has been reprised with a few words changed here and there, but largely the production value hasn't really gone up or down, it's just where it's at. The second gimmick introduced around the Black Orc Greymon Destiny Stones arc is DNA Digivolving. DNA Digivolving was originally introduced in the movie when War Greymon and Metalveromon DNA Digivolved to Omnimon. But the show decides to not give the new Digidestineds all but two, Ken and Davis Megas, while still using DNA Digivolving to turn two champion levels into one ultimate. The concept works, it's just one problem. The stories make it uninteresting. It isn't until the last arc, after the Digimon World Tour, that we actually get to see the writing go up a bit with the Orikawa arc, as we find out about this man who's always wanted to do is go to the digital world. A very no, a very nice thing indeed, except he's going about it the evil wrong way, using dark spores, the things that made Ken evil, to try to open a gate to the digital world. It's later found out that he is nothing but a pawn for the returning, at the very end, Myodismon. Myodismon's new form is, in fact, intimidating, jading, and purely evil. He tries to use mind control, but stupid ass Davis, seeing that he's got an intelligence of a gnat, cannot be mind controlled and helps the Digidestin pull out of Myodismon's evil spell. And seeing that they were transported into a world of dreams, seeing that Blackboard Greymon sacrificed himself to lock the the main Digigate, gate, the world of dreams gives the Digidestin a chance to fight back, only to see Myodismon pushed into the digital world. This is where the season practically gets most of its hate, its vitriol, its negativity. It gets most of it because of how it ends. Here's how it ends. Myodismon is defeated by all the Digidestined in the known world, most of which we were introduced to in the world tour. But it's only after a bunch of kids that Oikawa brought along for the little field trip discovered their inner power and earned Digivices as well, that the Digidestin finally have enough light to overcome the darkness and cause Myodismon to go away and get ghost busted forever. The then shamed Oikawa, understanding the power of the dream world, transforms himself into light energy, thus to restore the digital world to beauty and safety once and for all. The Digidestined are no longer needed because everyone is one. This would be fine, except we are given one of the most poorly put together, poorly written, and quite frankly disgraceful epilogues ever done for an anime. It is the epilogue alone that causes people mostly to hate Adventure 2. You see, Matt goes on to be an astronaut. Tai goes on to run the UN with Agumon for human and Digimon relations. Sora becomes a fashion designer while the character most likely to become a fashion designer becomes Emerald Lagasse and Mimi. TK becomes a novelist, which falls into her mother's line of work. Her mother was a newspaper reporter after all, so it kind of semi-fits. The one that does fit, though, is Cody as a defense attorney. Yoli is a housewife with kids. Ken is a detective. Joe is naturally the digital world's first doctor, while Izzy dedicates his life to researching the digital world. And yes, all the old characters are back and helpful, but you can tell that the writers just wanted them out of the way and just couldn't do it. Practically every character's future except for Cody's is explained well and acceptable. Notice that I didn't bring up Davis here. Davis wants to run a noodle cart. It is the acknowledgement of this dream that triggers the final sequence that defeats Myotismon. That's right, the idiot wants to serve Naruto ramen all day. And get this, his dream is actually a success. He becomes world famous for running his noodle cart. It's a noodle cart. A noodle cart. Combine this with the fact that we are introduced to the Digidestined's kids that all have partners themselves, and you would think the next season of Digimon would be a next generation sort of thing. No, 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 no. They just decided to reboot the whole thing entirely and throw out the Digidozen storyline for keeps. What we are left with is something empty, disappointing, and wrong. Everything about this season has pieces that could make it go right. There are some truly great written episodes and truly great character development here. It's just that everything just collapses upon itself and makes season 2 really a disappointing watch now as a reviewer. About Digimon Fusion though. Digimon Fusion had their first episode this week, returning to the US after 3 years. Digimon Fusion looks like it's on the right track. Being the English interpretation of Cross Wars, this season will be 2 seasons deep, so expect a lot of episodes here. But the new half anime CGI inspired animation style is bright, colorful, and great to look at. Attacks are big and bold and are even explained. The Digimon analyzer is taken to the back of the episodes, much like Japan. And the direct translation seems pretty close. The characters are voiced well between Mikey, our, our courageous yet sometimes overactive leader of the new Digidestin, but this character, much like Ty, has a heart of gold. Angie is a typical girl's girl. girl who just wants to keep Mikey safe and out of trouble. While you have the uber competitive Jeremy at their side trying to figure things out. Each Each character is well voiced and well animated, and the Digimon are fun to look at. The only problem going into this series seems to be the theme song. It uses auto-tune. The words are great. The beat is great, but the vocals are done in auto-tune. Ugh. Ugh. If you can't get something exactly perfect, it's bothersome. But all in all, Nickelodeon spent a lot of money to get Saban to bring Digimon back, and it looks like it's on the right track. As for Digimon Adventure 2, though, this is where the series veers off track. And if it wasn't for the next part of Digimon to review, Digimon might have been dead before we got the fusion. As far as Adventure 2 goes, I have to be honest, it's a 7. It might be a borderline 6, but I'm going to give it 7 just because the retro characters are in it. And not everything is not totally bad, but you can see the writers were confused and sometimes fell asleep at the switch while doing this thing. It's really disappointing seeing that Adventure 1 is so great to have the follow-up season be so okay. But the next time we reset reality and we do Digimon Season 3, aka Tamers. Prepare to see Digimon go to very, very dark places. Live life by the code.